Hi, everyone. It's Cassandra Williamson coming to you on the path forward from way up in a holler in eastern Kentucky, in a little town of Hardy in Pike County, which is, let me see, near Belfry, which is near South Williamson, Kentucky, which is across the river from Williamson, West Virginia. Okay, so that gives you some locations, landmarks to kind of connect to. And also, Matewan, West Virginia is just as close as Williamson is, pretty much. Well, a little bit farther, not by much, from right here where I am right now. Yeah, Hatfield McCoy Feud Country. So it has been a rainy, dreary day here today, and I want to give an update on family since today was. It took me a minute to get back. Let me get my microphone a little bit closer. Maybe that'll help too, and you can hear me better. So anyway, yeah, we earlier today I took my mom out to for her doctor's appointment with her kidney specialist, and I just want to give a rundown of that for family who may be watching, so that you can know that everything is all right. Um, at least it's stable. Let me put it that way. She does have stage 4 kidney failure, and there's only one left. It's her filtration rate was 18.6, and if it goes below 15, then that is critical and dialysis is required. It should be above 60 for normal. Under normal conditions, it's greater than 60. But hers is 18.6. But here's the thing: it's been steady around that number, above it primarily, mostly, but it's been between 30 and 18 for 4 years. So that's pretty steady, and the doctor doesn't want to do anything else to address that particular issue. She does have some swollen feet and ankles and stuff like that, and it's primarily caused by um, her kidney failure. But it could also be related to too much salt intake. She does like a lot of salt on her food and stuff, as do I. But she knows that she needs to cut back on the salt, but that may help a little bit. But the doctor is not overly concerned with that swelling right now. It's not overly. It's not massive. Let's put it that way. It's not huge. There is some depression that you can see, the dimpling that does occur when you do push your finger on there, and it remains dimpled for a second or two. So, but that's there. We're going to hold steady with everything. We go back in 3 months for another test to make sure. Just a follow-up test so that we can chart more data. We need more data, more points that actually help us see what's going on. And they've been tracking it for over 4 years now. So that's a good set of data, and it does show that she's basically holding steady at a lot of these and all of these numbers. Some things have been up and down a little more dramatically, like her blood sugar and stuff like that. Her blood sugar has been running like 134. Actually, it's been around 110 to 140 in the mornings, and then it goes on up a little higher in the evenings. It can get 175 to 200 in the evenings, but she's been snacking all day long. Then she gets her shot in the evening, check it again, shot in the evening, and then goes to bed and starts over in the morning. So that's her. Basically, she's doing all right. My sister Irma's fine, compared to relatively, let's say. So everything's good there. She is wheelchair bound and all that. So my brother is having his usual difficulties with breathing, which is much more troublesome than anything that everyone else is facing. My cousin, she doesn't live in this home here, and I'm not a direct caregiver for her, but I do make sure that she's all right and has something to eat, make sure she's eating, and checked on her today after we came back from Pikeville with Mom. And it turns out that she had fallen, scraped her knee pretty badly, and probably going to bruise it pretty badly. And but she's otherwise all right. She was just trying to turn on a light and turn off the fan in her living room, and she was trying to reach up apparently and then fell. But she didn't hurt anything else or bruise anywhere else or bang her head on anything, so she's good. So, but I know that scrape on her knee was definitely, it didn't look good to me. It looked like it was pretty painful, but she's dealing with it. She's got her stuff there to take care of that, and she's doing well. Now, so we've got a couple of things I wanted to talk about yesterday and today, and for several days now. I've been talking about this stuff with Christian nationalism and how it is sweeping through our government, and its intentions are to take over. Its intentions are to sweep from the top, kind of guide this nation under a Christian flag with all elected officials under them, all the federally elected officials under them, all the state elected officials under them, and all the city and community and county elected leaders under them. That's their goal. It's not going to happen, but that's their goal. And so, but we do have some really troubling things that are happening. I want to introduce you to another Christian pastor in the same vein as Doug Wilson from out in Moscow, Idaho. This person, I'm not sure where they're from. This person is Joel Webbon, Webbon. So I'm going to go ahead and just play this clip from him. It's only about 43 seconds long. But this is what they think, folks. And so far, Pete Hegseth has not denied this, has not said that he is opposed to these things, even when asked. So let me just go add a scene really quickly. I'm going to pull up some media and give me a minute. I'm going to do a live video. Well, not a live video, but a local video. I have it on my computer. I think I do. What did I do with it? It downloaded to something. Where did it go? Okay, I don't see it there. So I know you can't hear it over here, but this guy is something else, folks. Desktop. Did it end up on the desktop? Nope, it didn't end up on the desktop. So anyway, I'm going to have to go over and download it again. Let me go switch over to YouTube and see if I can download that thing again and find it for you. Give me a search. And I'm going to go here to download. Remove from downloads? No. Cancel. Downloaded. Oh, it's downloaded. Where'd it go? It says downloaded. I don't see it. Where are my grandkids? Okay. So, cancel. Remove from downloads. So I did that. I'm going to download it again. Let's see what happens. Downloading. View. Where'd it go? Oh, it's over there. I got it. Now I see where it went. And all right, so I'm going to copy this link. Maybe that'll get me into it. I don't know. But anyway, so I'll just read what he says as he said. Maybe you can hear it if I put my microphone close enough to this thing. Here we are. So let me. Get that? So no doubt you heard that. I'm going to try to get where I can play it actually, but this is what these people believe. They believe it sincerely. We're not going to allow it to happen. That's for sure. There will be a massive rebellion against that kind of stuff because it's just ignorance and stupidity. And if that's what they're interpreting their Bible to say, then they need to find a different way to interpret the Bible, because I don't know anything in there that says stuff like that. Do you? There are all kinds of women leaders in the Bible. So I don't know how he gets to that. I think he has to kind of discard the pieces he doesn't like. But it's flabbergasting to me that he would do that, say that, whatever. Let's see. We have a comment over here. Hey, yeah, the Esther Project. Yep. Hey, Junia, how you doing? So we have these people saying this is the curse of feminism. And Doug Wilson believes this stuff too. And actually, I wouldn't be surprised if he's the one who's pushing it out, because he's got the biggest platform, 150 different church facilities around the world, one of which located in Tennessee. Pete Hegseth moved his entire family to so they could be there and not be influenced by the world. Oh, my God. But that's what we're dealing with, folks. We've got to stand up and say, no, what's happening? This is what I see is happening right now. Do you know the story of the frog in a pot of water? You put the frog in cold water. You put a bunch of frogs in a pot of cold water, and you just let them sit there and acclimate to that cold water, and they'll adjust and they'll do whatever they do to kick around and splash water and all kinds like that. But then you can start turning the heat up. And they pay no attention to that heat. They just figure that, everything's kosher. They're just going to be all right with this rising heat around them. And they just keep on keeping on until such point when they start noticing their friends dying beside them, cooked to death, slowly cooked to death, because they weren't aware that the heat was dangerous. Well, that's what's happening in our country right now. Half of this country believes that everything's going to be all right. I know it'll be all right in the end, but we have to get through it first. We got to get through this and put a stop to it and make sure it doesn't happen again. We can't allow this stuff to happen again. And that's the way it seems. It seems to me that we have a pot full of water. It's on flames right now. It's being warmed up, and all the frogs are in there. And here's most of the country going around saying, this is not going to get that bad. It doesn't seem too bad, does it? We're kind of feeling all right. Temperature's rising. We're feeling good. And then suddenly you're just cooked through and through. And then it's too late. But we can't let it get too late, folks. We've got to stand up and do something about what's in front of us right now. And the most obvious person right now that's the focus of all this, who has not denied these things and turned his back on that, and his preacher, his pastor, you'll have to turn his back on that pastor. And I don't think he can do it. I don't think he will do it. I don't think has a strong enough character to do that. He doesn't have a strong enough sense of right and wrong to do that, to turn his back on that pastor who is blatantly wrong, who is misleading a large percentage of this world because of his interpretation of his version of the Christian Bible. Now, the same thing goes for Shia theocracy. That's Christian theocracy, Christian nationalism, Christian fascism, same bunch of junk. Islam has the same problem. You've got Shias and Sunnis, and each of them, and there's many more. There's 150 different versions of that, okay? But right now, the Shia and the Sunnis, each one has their countries they're controlling, their governance over all of these people. One is a kingly kind of thing, and the other one is the Ayatollah, who is going, nope, we'll execute somebody who doesn't wear their full veil. And if you're caught dancing, you're dead. And if you're caught speaking your mind, you're dead. And if you're caught being gay or lesbian or trans, I will just drop you off a building on your head. That kind of stuff. No, there's nothing godly about that. There's nothing even in the Quran that would suggest you need to do that. All these religions are supposed to be religions of peace, aren't they? But you know what that means? It's only peaceful if you all agree with them. But if you don't agree with them, well, then there's nothing to prevent them from doing anything to you, including lying to you, subverting whatever agreements they have with you, because they don't think of you as being worthy of any of those words. They'll do whatever they can to either forcefully convert you or, kill you. Same thing has been true in Christianity as well. You might want to deny all of that, but that is still the truth, period. It's there. So that kind of nationalism is not just specific to Christianity. It's all of them. They all have this nationalist tendency because they want to control things and make you do what they want you to do. And that's what this Joel Webbon, W-E-B-B-O-N, Webbon, I don't know. Yeah, I'm sure I'm tearing that name all to pieces. Don't mean to there, Joel. But Joel is sincerely wrong. But he spouts that stuff as if it were gospel. It's not gospel. He's just an insecure man who wants to be in complete control of every person there. And so that's what that amounts to. So I still haven't figured out how to get this thing to actually download and play on my desktop here. But It's really, really, really disturbing that we have people who believe this, and it's in our government right now. So we're going to have to do everything we can to bring an end to that. But we also know that in the end, we win. In the end, we actually make it through all of this. Yeah, it's going to be tough. Yeah, we're going to be trying to vote them out, get them away from all these positions of power, but we have to also make sure that our systems are designed in such a way that these people can never, ever again gain access to the halls of power. We should go back. I would love to go back to what Texas had back in 1836 when it was the Texas Republic, or some of the states had during that same period of time in their constitutions and their statutes and laws, that said that no preacher, they didn't have anybody else to worry about, but it was all Christian preachers at the time, that no preacher should be in a position of leadership. No preacher should be. They didn't worry about the women. Women couldn't vote then anyway. So, originally, that Constitution was very, very exclusive. It only applied to 3/5 of the black men, and it didn't apply to women at all. No, it took a long time. It took 80 years to get through all of that stuff. It really did. It took a long time. But here we have Joel Weeben. I'm just going to let him play again. I'm going to let it play out real loud now. You ready? Here it goes. Here's Joel Weeben. There you go, folks. You heard it from Joel right there. But see, that's Christian nationalism. That's what they want to do. This is Christian dominionism. It goes a little bit further, okay? It's a much more deadly thing. So I've been in all these conversations with people for days now about all this stuff over on Twitter. And obviously, the people who are talking to me, I find it really comical, but they're wanting me to acknowledge truths and things, which I do acknowledge, but they're hiding behind fake account names and fake pictures. I find that to be just comical as can be. They're going after me, but yet they're the ones hiding. They don't even tell you their name. They don't want you to see their picture. They see me full up. I'm right there. Oh, I mean, who you see is what you get, and it's not going to be any different tomorrow. This is it. But over on Twitter, most of the people who engage with me do so behind a fake name and a fake image, a meme, or some kind of avatar that is does not represent them at all, unless you ask pointedly, what does that mean? And sometimes I'm not going to tell you. I've spoken to people over there who have flat out told me, they said, no, I'm sorry, I can't tell you my real name, because if I did, I'd get in trouble. And I'm going, oh, what the heck are you doing here then? What's up with that? Come on. What are you, some federal agent or something like that? And you're just saying stuff because behind this fake name? And that way, so nobody can see who you are? And one person told me flat out, yeah, I have to. I said, okay, then. Well, we're not going to talk because you know exactly who I am, and I don't know anything about you. That's the end of our conversation. If you can't be real with me, what's the freaking point of talking? But anyway, yeah, it's been a busy day, hectic day, a lot of stuff going on. And so, oh my God. I'm glad my family's all right. I'm glad to be here for them. Let's see if I've got anything else up here. Yeah, Slate did say that we asked Pete Hegseth if women should have the right to vote. The answer was unsettling. We really, really didn't expect this. Well, you should have. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Anyway, so basically it's just going back over the article, the story that we showed yesterday about Doug Wilson and stuff. And it's really important. I mean, this is one of the most existential threats to this country right now that I can think of. It's a threat to our constitutional republic because they want to put themselves in a position where they're over all elected offices. They control who goes there and what's said, whether that is at the county or city or state level or the federal level. And as Joel said, they don't want women involved in any of it. As Doug Wilson shows on his own website, there are no women in any position of leadership within his church. And by the way, he's not accountable to a single soul. He made himself the pastor of that church. He anointed himself and put himself in there. He's not responsible to anyone. He is not beholden to any commission or committee or other church or anything like that. It's his, period. He's the one that's totally on him. So he can't fire himself because, you know, he wrote the rules. So, phew. But that's what Joel Weebon is down here too. Joel is the same way. And they're not the only ones. All you have to do is search for Christian nationalist or Christian dominionist on Google or wherever you search. Search it on Grok or Gemini or Bing AI or whatever they call that thing over there on Microsoft now. But that's what we're dealing with. It's a real threat to the continuity of this nation, and it's dividing us even further. But we can't sit back and do nothing, because then we become nothing but another frog in that pot of cold water that's being heated up slowly underneath our butts. That's exactly what this is. We're seeing so many things, and everybody's just become numb to it all. You've got to call it all out, and we've got to do it loudly, not violently. I don't want to hear of a single person anywhere on this side of that fence throwing a rock at a vehicle with ice in it. That's dumb. That's dumb. I don't want to hear people taking baseball bats to anything and breaking it up, or throwing rocks at buildings and windows, or setting things on fire. Because if we do that, then we become the story of violence and anger that will enable Trump to go, oh yeah, we've got these 600 newly trained National Guard officers or leaders who are trained specifically for civil disobedience. Now, he does, by the way. He does. At least he's kicking them into gear. Hegseth is setting it up. There'll be 300 in Arizona to deal with the West Coast. There'll be 300 in Alabama to deal with the East Coast. Civil disobedience. Well, now, there's going to be a lot of us are going to have to be civilly disobedient. Going to have to do the good fight stuff. And that's going to be hard for a lot of us. But if we don't, they will feel they can get away with it. We've got to have the whole country stirred up and pissed off about all of this stuff, but without destroying property or injuring people. That's a tall order, because people are pissed. People are angry, and they like to vent those things somewhere at something. We can't do it. Anyway, it's now 25 after, and I could go on and 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 on. Boom. Yeah. Let me check in with Jamie, see how things are going with Jamie. Let me get my cursor over there. There it is. There you are. How you doing, Jamie?
Pretty good. Just sitting here and just listening to the show.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, good. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
And I did try again. I went over to the Veterans Service Office, and we're going to try again to get my name changed on my records under the pretenses of the gender. You know, I mean, I saw the paper that the guy wrote up, basically explaining because my name had changed because I was a transgender veteran, that it may affect benefits in the future. It may affect future jobs, which I'm done working anyway, but,
Right.
that sort of thing, because they didn't want to change my name on my records. They said that they were going to change what was on my DD 214s at the time that I was discharged.
Right.
So.
Right. Well,
But he seems to think, I mean, he had a list of things there that were allowable, and I mean, that was one of them. So he said, if that don't work, we'll try something else.
okay.
So,
Well, at least you have some options and some things to look forward to. So I'm hoping that'll work out for you and get that straightened out. Thank goodness I did mine.
that last piece of the puzzle.
Thank goodness I did mine long ago. It's done. But I empathize with you wanting to get it all done in your records, and Deere's system is a nightmare. Oh, and the VA's Vista system is an even bigger nightmare. See, I walk in talking to nurses about it, and they go, yeah, our system is kind of slow. And I go, yeah, you're in the last iteration of Vista, aren't you? And they look at me like, how the heck do you know that?
You got me.
Oh, yeah. And the dial-up tone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank God AOL's dropping that. Oh my God.
Yeah. I didn't know it was still
didn't know either.
I really did.
I didn't know. I saw that article and it said like 1% of the country still uses that dial-up method. I'm going,
wow.
Okay. Anyway.
That's old, real old school.
I know, right? Right. Now, somewhere around here, well, no, I don't. I used to have an old dial-up phone around here, an actual rotary.
Yeah, remember the old party days there when you had your
yes, I remember that. We had them up Four Sills in Kentucky, right here, where I live now. And you can call up somebody and go, "Let me talk to somebody," and you go, click, 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 click. Everybody else was on the line.
Yeah, hang up! I need to use the phone.
Get off the phone. Shoot, we didn't have a TV for the whole time that I was in. Let me see, middle school on down. No TV in our house. Daddy,
I can't remember when I got the color TV, but I can still remember you had to get and move the rabbit ears to get a good signal.
Exactly. Exactly right. Rabbit ears. That was usually just a wire hanger. I actually had to go down to the neighbor's house a half a mile down the holler to watch Neil Armstrong walk on the moon. Oh, those are I was going to say good old days.
The good old days.
I don't necessarily think of them as good old days. They were days.
Well, I mean, it was carefree for you as a kid, right?
Well, no, not really. No. Shoot. I had work to do. I was helping Dad.
Well, I mean, I helped out too. I mean, Grandpa and my uncles and stuff like that.
I didn't have any major responsibilities. My responsibility was to learn, read, and blow up stuff in my lab upstairs. No, okay. I did. I read the entire, every single page of the Encyclopedia Britannica. That was big. Everybody had one. The salesman came around every so often and sold you a new one. New set.
The World Book of the Encyclopedia Britannica.
Yeah, exactly. Somebody told me the other day, they said, when you would come over to visit your uncle, her dad, and he passed away in 1984, but when you would come over there to visit for the summer, they said the only thing you ever wanted to do was sit down and read every book in the house.
Playboys and all, right?
None of those in that house. Oh, no. Hugh Hefner hadn't made it in there yet. No, he was verboten. Anyway,
Yeah.
so come back tomorrow at noon. Well, no, let me just rephrase that because I've got to take. This week has been a time of taking people to the doctor, and tomorrow I take my sister to the doctor. So I have to get her into the car, or wheelchair into the car, get her to her doctor's appointment, which is closer than Pikeville. It's at South Williamson, and then I go back to the VA on Friday. So all of my noontime things are kind of out of kilter this week because it takes 2 hours to go to Huntington, only about 20 minutes to go down to South Williamson, and 45 minutes to go to Pikeville. And so it's been like a pretty hectic week. But it's been fun. Anyway, come back tomorrow. We'll have something else to talk about. I think I'm pretty talked out of Christian nationalism right now, unless something comes up tonight or tomorrow that I need to talk about, which who knows.
Yeah, let's hope nothing for the worst.
Wouldn't that be nice? It would be. You know what I'd love to see? I would love to see this. Not have a single show on Fox talk about gender and transgender.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that gets to be old.
Every show, it seemed like they've got to mention something, and it goes on all day long. All day.
Right? We are the target. I mean, there's no one that can't say that we are.
That's right. I mean, I'm getting so tired of that. It's really just dragging and weighing down. Do you feel that way? It's kind of dragging you down.
I do. I think that it's meant to beat us down. Just like you're saying. It does.
Yeah, it just drags you down, and it's very effective at doing that. But we have to push back. We have to persist through all of this, and we've got to continue the good.
Well, the big thing you got to do is get the women, that's looking at their rights being taken away, their jobs as combat, duty, being taken away in the military and get a desk job. The women got to start seeing the writing on the wall too.
Those conversations are being had in several places like that I'm involved in, like Service Academy women. From all of the different service academies, 50 years of women in service academies now. And it is a huge topic right now. And they are up in arms over it. And it's showing up in other spaces as well. Some of them will just tell you, no, we don't want to talk about politics in here. And we all go, your existence is political.
Yeah. If you value the job that you got, and I mean, it's a targeted position, that some man's going to replace you. I think you better be concerned about it if you want
exactly. So we're starting to see a ratcheting up of the heat right now. The dialogue is, and the narrative is going after these Christian nationalists and Pete Hegseth and the things he has not yet denied. So.
Right.
Anyway, the tempo is rising. The temperature is rising. These ladies don't want to be the frog in that pot. They know it.
Well, I don't know. I don't know that most of them know that there's that going on. Or if they don't know about it, they just don't really think it's a possibility.
Well, most of them have said, and I've heard this too. Most of them have said that. They just didn't think that they would do this. They didn't think they would go this far with it. And my response to that is, we've known. They gave us the playbook. We know where they wanted to go with all of this stuff. We've known it. Oh, come on. Oh, my goodness. But anyway.
Well, you knew what it was about with the transports. I mean, that was number one, and I mean, just got the ball rolling.
Yeah. Junia, thank you. Junia, thank you so much for commenting over on the side. I'm sorry I didn't get to read everything over there. Never go anywhere with the intention of starting a fight, but I have always been one that will defend myself if confronted physically. Well, I can agree with that. Yeah. It's getting a little bit more difficult the older I get, but
But I don't have no problem standing up and identifying who I am. I think it's damn cowardly there to not say who you
Yeah.
are and hide behind a
Yeah.
mask.
And Junior also goes, I'm going to show this one right here. This is for during the time that I was opposing Roy Moore. It became clear to me that when they talked about Sharia law, that they themselves wanted to pass their version of Sharia law in America. And that is true. And I remember standing up against Roy Moore with a lot of people in Alabama, and thank God Doug Jones beat him out. Oh my God. Roy was just, whew, he was bonkers. I hope he's gone. I don't know where he is. But oh my gosh, Roy was horrible. He's the one who called me the transgender mafia. Transgender mafia, yeah. I told him I was in Tuscaloosa at the time. I sent a message to him. And I said, "Look, we should meet down here in Tuscaloosa. Come on, let's go down for dinner. We could talk about all kinds of things." And he never replied back, but I did extend the invitation. I mean, he was more than welcome to sit with me in Metro Diner down there in Tuscaloosa and the mall there. The what is it called? Midday, or let's see, Mid something, Mid Village shopping center. Beautiful place. But Metro Diner's good. Oh, by the way, I'm getting real hungry now. I could walk into Metro Diner and they would see me coming and they'd say, "So, are you ready for your
Hamburg? Hamburg?
No, they would go, "Are you ready for your eggs Benedict today? Or your San Francisco Benedict?" That's what I always ordered, with a side of hash browns. And they would go, I would go, yeah, because that was my favorite thing from there. That was the best meal ever. I could eat it any time of the day. You can sit down with a good glass of some kind of wine or whatever and just sit there and enjoy the meal. It was a good meal. I can make those myself now, though. Anyway, shoot, I told you I could talk on and on and on. Why'd you let me go on like this?
Hey, I'm ready anytime you want to go. I just wanted to just pop in and.
Well, I'm glad you popped in. Junia, thank you so much too for your comments, and everyone else who have been watching or driving by. Have a great evening, everyone.